Welcome to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and today is Wednesday, November 10th, 2021. Hey, if you're watching the show, hit the share button. Share it with your friends. Let everybody know you like it. Also, hit the like button so I know you like the show. And I'll continue doing it so I can continue giving this great content. I need you to hit the like button so I know that you like it. You can also comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. Please leave comments. It lets me know that you are actively watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. So show up for class tomorrow. You'll love it. All right, on today's show, we're going to be talking about the fact that we're going to talk about the market update, I should say. The CPI surged. We're going to be talking about Rivian's IPO, Apple, App Store charge, Bitcoin hitting 70,000. We're going to be talking about the 900,000 guinea pigs out there, and the SpaceX launch. And then, of course, we're going to be talking about the wrap-up and what I think is going to happen in the market. So first of all, so the market was slammed today, and the NASDAQ, holy cow, the NASDAQ was really slammed. So you guys should know that typically when the bond rate goes up, the NASDAQ goes down, and here it is. The NASDAQ is actually down 263 points. At one point, it was down over 300 points, and that's pretty bad, especially for the NASDAQ. The Dow is down 240 points, and the S&P is down 38 points. Doesn't this sound like exactly what I was saying last week? I was saying this is going to happen. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, and here it is. It's happening. I'm going to say that the next 5 days are going to be a little bit rough, a little bit bumpy, and then as we come into the end of the beginning of December, it might start to come back a little bit as soon as I said before, as soon as the debt ceiling crap is done and President Poopy Pants and his domestic terrorists are out there solving the problems, or not necessarily solving the problems, but you know what I mean. Doing their vote and trying to get rid of the debt ceiling, or voting in the debt ceiling. However, it doesn't really matter. By the way, gold also moved up today, and it has for a few days. So these are some good things. So let's talk a little bit about the consumer price index surging. Hey, did anybody notice that we're in a state of massive inflation? Well, guess what happened? We have the highest consumer price index rise in 30 years. That's right, not since 1990 have we had CPI of as high as 6.2%, which it was today. The Consumer Price Index, which is basically a combination of products ranging from gasoline, healthcare, groceries, and rents, rose 6.2% from a year ago. This is the most since December 1990. Dow Jones estimated they were actually going to be as high as 5.9%, so it's higher than that, but it's not that much of a difference if you ask me. But here you go. Let me talk a little bit about some numbers for your entertainment. So fuel oil prices have soared 12.3% for the month, part of, ready, 59% increase over the past year. Energy prices overall rose 4.8% in October and are up 30% for a 12-month period. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but used vehicle prices, again, were a big contributor, rising 2.5% for the month and 26% for the year. You know, I got to be honest with you, I sold my Corvette. I got more money for my Corvette than I bought it for 4 years ago, so I sold it at 26% increase for the year. New vehicle prices were up 1.4% and 9.8% for the year. Food prices also showed a sizable bounce, up 0.9% for October and 5.3% for the year. And by the way, within the food category are meat, poultry, fish, eggs, and collectively they rose 1.7% for the month and 11.9% for the year. Is this hurting your budget yet? No, seriously, I want to know if this is hurting your budget yet. Let me know in the comments if inflation is actually hurting your budget. So let me know if inflation is hurting your budget. Let me know in the comments. I want to know if it is. But I'm going to tell you something, just so you know. The question really is, has your income risen to the level you need to cover the jump, or is inflation hurting you? So here you go. Honestly, I got to be honest, inflation's been really, really good for me. At least for now. Look, I'm a landlord and I'm a real estate investor. I have increased my rents, and property values have pushed up my properties to like some really exciting levels, you know. I'm also taking advantage of high values and low interest rates to refinance and cash out of some of my properties. By the way, just so you know, at Investor Schooling tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about HELOCs. So we're going to be talking about how to take advantage of your property, the equity in your property, with a HELOC. And it's a great idea. So if you want to go to Investor Schooling tomorrow, you definitely want to do that. So actually, I'm going to tell you that inflation's been good to me. But how about you? Let me know in the comments if inflation's been good to you. I want to know. Or if you're having trouble with it. Let's talk about the Rivian IPO. So Wall Street was anxiously awaiting the IPO of a new electric car manufacturer with the name Rivian, R-I-V-I-A-N. This is an incredible joint venture between Ford and Amazon. Look, honestly, with both of them involved, this company is a no-brainer. Amazon has a 20% stake in Rivian, and it invested more than $1.3 billion in the automaker prior to its IPO. And check this out: Ford also holds a 12% stake in Rivian. It's gonna go pretty far to compete with Tesla. The IPO price at the time, today, by the way, was 78, and it was expected to immediately jump to 115, and that was indicated by the futures and pending buyers. But here you go. It didn't quite get there, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. Rivian said in an SEC filing that there's a backlog of pre-orders for 55,400 Model R1T and R1S vehicles from customers in North America. And check it out. Amazon just ordered 100,000 vehicles from them, and they plan to deliver these by the end of 2023. Think about that. Amazon is a member of the company, or owns part of the company, and they just ordered 100,000 vehicles. Add to that, of course, the fact that President Poopy Pants and his electric initiative, this company will go really far. By the way, this company has 6,270 employees so far at the end of June. These guys are ready for action. My suggestion on this one is a buy and hold for many years. So if you want to buy some stock, put it in a drawer and forget about it. I believe this actually could be the next Tesla. It's definitely going to be a great company if they deliver the promises that they state. And again, with Ford and Amazon teaming up on this one, it will only be great. Right after I did the research on this, Rivian opened for the first trade at 106, and it was up about 22 points, and it was right around 100 the last time I looked, so that's kind of cool too. So let's talk a little bit about the App Store changes, Apple iPhone App Store changes. So a couple of weeks ago, I reported that Apple lost a lawsuit brought on by Epic Games. This suit was about Epic Games complaining that once an app was downloaded or purchased onto your phone, the company could not sell anything inside the app without giving Apple 15% piece of the sale. This was cited as an antitrust violation and Epic sued. Well, Epic won. However, Apple appealed and asked for a stay for about a year. Yesterday, a decision came down from the appellate court that Apple will not be granted that stay, and things on the App Store are going to change in December instead of next year. I expected Apple to drop a bit today. My thought was about 3 to 4 points. Well, in fact, I was kind of hoping for it because I was going to take advantage of the drop by buying it. It only dropped about 2.5 points today, and most of the market was down, so that's not so bad. This to me means that either the money managers were expecting this decision, or they simply realize that Apple will not suffer much from the change, and it may actually help others out there put apps on the App Store. Investor Schooling, by the way, has a beta app on the App Store if you wanted to download it. So you could actually go to Investor Schooling app, investorschoolingApp.com, and you could actually download it for the iPhone and Android. But I also think that Apple's going to be a good play. I'm kind of looking for it to drop below 145 to make a move on it, and that should be soon. Let's quickly talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin was on the move again, and it hovered just below 70,000, and then it dropped. It actually is sitting there right around 65,000 again. Want to know why it's not there yet? Well, here it is. It's simple resistance. When a stock or an asset starts to move towards an anticipated record, many investors will sell the asset just before it reaches that goal. Why? Because they're afraid that others are thinking the same exact thing. So it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. So they sell and keep their profits. I think it's kind of a wise strategy, but some will hold on through the next drop. And here's the deal. When someone actually pays over 70,000 for it, the next resistance will probably be 75,000, and it's going to be coming soon. If you want to learn more about support and resistance, take a look at this commercial and sign up for a class next Thursday, and we'll see you in a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start. Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and real quick, we had Kevin online asking what the ticker symbol was for Rivian, and that is RIVN. Take a look at it. I think it's a great play, and that would be awesome. All right, so real quick, so we've been discussing, of course, the market update, and the Dow, not so good today. The Dow was down about 240. The NASDAQ was down 264. Oh, that's horrible. And, of course, we had some things. We had the CPI surge, and that was the reason for it. We talked about, once again, the Rivian IPO, and we also talked about Apple's change and Bitcoin possibly hitting 70,000. We're going to be talking in this segment, we're going to be talking about 900,000 guinea pigs, and we're going to be talking about the SpaceX launch, and then, of course, stay tuned, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what I would suggest you invest in. But first of all, did you guys hit that share button? I see a bunch of you guys watching. That's awesome. So please hit the share button. Please hit the like button, and, of course, you can leave comments on either YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, and, of course, I'll try to respond to them live. All right. So check it out. Let's talk a little bit about 900,000 guinea pigs. It was funny. I searched and searched for the origin of the term guinea pigs, and apparently it actually has no definite origin. The meaning of the phrase, however, is animals or humans that are experimented on for scientific reasons. So I'm thinking we should change the term from guinea pigs to vax kids. You see, now we have at least 900,000 kids the age of 5 through 11 whose parents have agreed to have their children be guinea pigs, or should I say vax kids. Look, pro or anti-vax really isn't the issue. It's more about parents being so scared of a disease that really almost never affects children. And look it up if you don't believe me. The mortality rate for children is so small that you probably will win the lottery before your kid dies of COVID, honestly. But look it up, you'll see. But it worries me that these parents haven't even questioned if the vaccine could be harmful to their children. Well, look, I personally thank you all for your sacrificing your children in an experiment to find out how it will affect them. Please keep us informed so I will know how to guide my friends and family based on these results. So here's a question for you guys watching. Are you going to have your child vaccinated? Leave a comment about your thoughts on the vaccine for kids 5 to 11. Let me know what you think about the vaccine for kids 5 to 11, and I realize a lot of you guys are anti-vax, but what about vax for 5 to 11? So if you've had the vax and you had a kid who is 5 to 11, would you let them vax? Please put that in the comments. All right. And if your kids are not in the age group, like I said, just put in the comment. By the way, if you want to just make it simple and put in "Let's Go Brandon," I would certainly understand that answer. So if you want to put in "Let's Go Brandon," I'll certainly understand that answer. All right. Let's talk a little bit about SpaceX. So I remember being in awe as the astronauts climbed into a rocket and launched into space. I was a young child, and it was like right around 1969 that the U.S. landed a rocket on the moon for the first time and beat the Russians in the space race. By now, we had thought that, we would have colonized the moon, and many science fiction movies suggested it. Actually, I don't know if you guys remember this show, but one of my favorite TV shows was a show called Space 1999, where the moon broke away from the orbit of the Earth, and the colonized moon crew basically drifted into space. Anyway, it appears that Elon Musk must have been a big fan of these type movies, or at least wants to be a pioneer in the new corporate space race. So tonight, and actually pretty soon, SpaceX, the company owned by Musk, will be launching its third operational crew launch for NASA. So NASA is actually using Elon Musk's rocket. It's pretty wild. So the Crew 3 mission, which the name of the mission is called the Crew 3 mission, will carry 4 astronauts. It's funny that it says that. Will carry 4 astronauts, and 3 of them will be American, 1 will be German. They are NASA astronauts Raja Chari, Tom Marshburn, Kayla Barron, and European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Mora. By the way, the ship is called Crew Dragon, and it can actually carry up to 7 astronauts. Only 4 will be on it, but it can carry up to 7. And to me, I gotta tell you, this is awesome science fiction and real technology all wrapped up in one. I'm actually pretty excited about the prospects of corporate astronauts and corporate colonization of other planets. By the way, you're gonna be watching the launch? Let me know in the comments. And we're gonna take a break, and we'll talk to you in just a couple more minutes, because we got some cool stuff coming in. I'm gonna be talking to you about my stock picks and what's going on.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors, and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from 2 Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way, and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and I got bad news for some of you people who were investing in Disney. The earnings just came out, and they missed everything. They missed across the board. The stock is already down 8.5 points. I expect this to go down more tomorrow. For those of you who weren't in it, actually, it's going to become a really good buying opportunity. I'd love to see it in the 150s, but unfortunately, they missed earnings terribly bad, so it's going to be bad. All right, anyway, so far we've been discussing the market update and the fact that the market is, of course, down 240 points. The S&P is down 39 points just about, and the NASDAQ almost 264 points. And we talked about the fact that the bond market is the reason that's happening. The CPI has surged. Rivian's IPO, we talked about that as well. We talked about Apple's App Store change. That's a tongue twister. We talked about Bitcoin hitting 70,000, 900,000 guinea pigs, and thank you again for your service. I truly appreciate you sacrificing your children for the rest of us. We certainly will watch that, and hopefully you will be fine. Anyway, we talked about SpaceX launch, and we're going to be talking about my stock picks. But before we do that, did you guys hit that share button yet? Come on, hit that share button. Hit that like button. Let me know you like the show. And you can leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and LinkedIn. And I see most of the people responding back to me, everybody watching on the different channels, and they're all saying, no way my kids are getting the vax. I will say that I changed the word to no way, and there was definitely a different word in there online. All right. As I've been saying, the market's going to start its decline over the next 2 weeks, and here it is. It's already here. This decline was an obvious one, as earnings season wrap-up is here. Look, just another reminder that the debt ceiling issue is looming again, and it will be starting to be discussed in the next few days. Watch this. Watch the next, if not this week, next week, they're going to start talking about the debt ceiling again, and that's going to freak people out. I'm also going to think that the bond market is probably going to start to go up a little bit again because of inflation and blah, blah, blah. So we probably see the bond market at 1.75 again. And all of these things are going to affect the NASDAQ. So just relax and just wait. As I said before, I'm mostly in cash, but I will tell you that I actually bought a couple of stocks today and sold covered calls because I know the money's sitting there, and it's fine with me if the money sits there and I sell the covered calls and I make free money. So if you don't know how to do covered calls, you definitely want to come to Investor Schooling, because if you have $100,000 lying around doing nothing, I could teach you how to make like 1 to 2% a week on that money with covered calls. It's kind of cool. All right, so I'm also waiting for my favorite stocks like CCL and AAL and even Facebook and Apple to drop, and then I'm going to be in with some options play. I will tell you that BA surprised me. Boeing surprised me today, and I'm not sure where it's sitting right now. Let me just take a quick look. So BA was actually up for a while. It was actually, well, it actually closed down. But it was actually up about 4 points for a while. Now it's back down. I'm looking for it to hit 213, and I think it's a play. Tesla, man, Tesla tanked. It was down about 200 points over the last few days, and it actually started to recover a little bit today, but the last few days was bad. Look, Meta, Facebook, you guys all know that Facebook is now Meta. Actually, Facebook is now a division of Meta, which again I think is a brilliant idea for Meta company. But anyway, it's kind of falling as the metaverse idea loses wind in investors' minds. Now, the metaverse is still a great idea for whatever. Anyway, it'll become definitely another mind control thing. However, it's a great idea for profit. But I'm going to wait for it to be in the high 220s, and then I'm going to go for it. I think it's going to be a great play. As for crypto, as we said before, Bitcoin was sitting there at about 65. Actually, I think it was the last time I looked. It's actually right now it's actually at 64,000. Ethereum is at 4,500, and Shiba fell back. And look, I got to be honest, it's another story about support and resistance movements here. We discussed it earlier in the show, and it can't quite stay over 60. I believe it may retreat to about 40 millionth of a cent before it goes back to the 60 millionth of a cent range. I did sell 2/3 of my position waiting for this drop, but I'm going to say it for everybody else: go Shiba Army. All right. Dogecoin is also holding out right around 26, 27, and that's it, man. So here's your story. We're gonna make some money in this. And by the way, I'm gonna ask you if you've made any money on this show by watching the show. Please let me know. I want to thank you once again for watching Money Chat Now. By the way, for you guys who don't know, Money Chat Now is going to be moving on December 1st to 7:30 a.m. And we're going to be simulcast live also on the radio on WWDB. And if you guys want to listen to the show in your car, you can actually do that too. By the way, did you hit the share button? Did you hit the like button? Let me know, because I'm excited to hear that you guys are making money. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. And as you know, from time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in the show. The opinions discussed in this show is solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. I want to thank you again for watching Money Chat Now. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 4:03. We're still on at 4:03 until December 1st. Actually, I think we're going to be the Monday of December 1st. So I'll let you know more about that soon. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.